So around 500 BC, Heralticus, one of the great Greek philosophers, said the only constant is change. So change has been around for a long time and it's never going to go away. In business, change is constant, and the ability of an organisation to effectively instigate and manage change should be seen as a capability and competitive advantage. The first place that change happens is in the minds of the organisation's leaders and managers. So to understand how to build a change capability, we need to understand how an individual reacts to change. Studies in psychology tell us that everyone moves through 5 phases, known as the emotional cycle of change. Much like the 7 stages of grief, each individual will demonstrate their own behaviours at each stage, and the speed that they move through these emotions will differ. As a business change leader, it's important to understand the emotional cycle of change to help you understand the behaviours of stakeholders. And we use the cycle to decide on the most effective approach to support people adapting to the new situation, whatever that is. So let's take a look at the emotional cycle of change. There are 5 distinct phases: uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, hopeful realism, informed optimism, and rewarding completion. Uninformed optimism is a honeymoon period. Ideas look great on paper, you're really excited about it, and you know you've got a great plan in place. You think you know how to overcome any obstacle or any challenge that gets put in your way. You're well prepared and it's all great. Then you start doing things. You start rolling out the change. You start having conversations with people, and not everyone's as excited as you. People come up with challenges that you hadn't anticipated and things you're not sure how you're going to deal with. You start thinking, oh no, why did I get involved in this? It's actually quite hard. What am I doing? And this isn't what I signed up for. At some point, while you're making the change, things start to turn around. You start to see that the challenges aren't as bad as you thought they were going to be. You've had a couple of quick wins. You've kicked some goals more easily than you'd expected to, and you start to feel a sense of accomplishment, replacing the sense of doubt and pessimism. Not everything's gone away by any stretch of the imagination, but you're starting to see the wood for the trees. As you keep making change happen, your confidence grows. You start to feel good, you're energised. People around you are buying into the change too. Their energy is egging you on. There's starting to be an acceptance of what the change is all about. The action list is almost complete and the end is in sight. So now you're wrapping things up. Change is done, it's time to celebrate and reward a great job. Sound like how you feel when you're leading a change? It's really important to understand that everybody's going to move through that cycle at a different pace. As a change leader, you're more likely to move through the stages faster than somebody that's having a change inflicted on them. That's because, as the one initiating the change, you get to decide the activities that actually make the change happen, and you have a degree of additional buy-in. So by understanding the emotional cycle, you'll be able to anticipate the reactions of others in the organisations, and you'll be able to adjust your plan and your style and your communications in a way that's going to give the best result wherever that individual is along the journey. So think of it this way. You're managing a change to roll out a new software program that affects about 300 people. They're all at different stages along the journey. Some people have read a small piece in the weekly newsletter that a new system's going to be introduced. Others are part of the project team and have been developing the new system for well over a year. There are more still that have heard bits and pieces along the grapevine. They've heard that there's lots of bugs in the system, it's not going to be as good as the old one, and that the new system's a waste of money. There are a couple of people who are new to the business and they haven't heard anything. So as a change manager, you need to develop strategies that are going to help these 300 people get ready to use the new system and hopefully get them excited about it. The first thing to remember is that you're never going to win everyone over. At this stage, it's important to develop a strong positive attitude towards the change. So pick some key people and work with them. Leverage the people who are already excited and use their enthusiasm to help you get others more excited. In other words, pick the key people to be your change champions and work with them. These are the people you'll work closely with to get the change through. They might not all be senior leaders, but they'll definitely be influential. Include people who are socially networked. You know, those people that others turn to for the inside scoop or to find out what's really going on. For each change champion, you need to figure out also where they are on the emotional cycle of change. So have a couple of very open and honest conversations with them. Once you know where they're at the cycle and which key stakeholders they're going to help you influence, you can develop a plan together for each group. To translate moving the emotional cycle of change into tangible activities, there are 3 phases really: aware, willing, and able. In other words, it's about making people aware that the change is coming and what it will be. And once they know that the change is coming, it's all about influencing them so that they're willing and able to do whatever it is that you're going to be asking them to do differently to what they did before. It's one thing to win their minds so that they logically know, yes, this is going to be a good thing. But winning their hearts so that they really want what's coming in the change is harder, and it takes more than just a memo or email communication. They need to be willing. But more than just willing, you also need people to be capable of working in the new situation. And that's where able comes in. It means everyone has the tools to do their job, they've had the training to do it, they understand the practical day-to-day implications of whatever this change might be. So throughout all the actions and activity you take to lead change in an organisation, it's important for you to be aware of your own behaviour. Know where you are on the emotional cycle. Make sure you're aware of how your behaviour and reactions will be perceived by those working with you. Try to remain constructive and positive at all times. Don't dwell on the negative with others around you, because if you're not positive, how do you expect anybody else to be? And you're the one that's leading this change initiative. You're the one that's really driving it. And if you're not excited, it's really hard for you to expect anybody else to be. So in summary, by understanding the emotional cycle of change, for those around you and for yourself, you'll be able to develop change plans to significantly improve your chances of making this change successful. Select a group of change champions and have them help you move the rest of the stakeholders through the cycle from uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, hopeful realism to informed optimism and rewarding completion. To move people through the cycle, remember to win their hearts and minds. They need to be aware, willing, and able.